Harrison Wind, Christian Clark here at Pepsi Center following the Nuggets draft. Denver comes out tonight with three prospects. Of course, Michael Porter Jr. at 14th overall. They also pick up Jared Vanderbilt, a big man out of Kentucky, and Thomas Welsh, a 7-footer out of UCLA in the second round. But the story tonight was Michael Porter Jr. He slips all the way to 14. I don't think anybody thought he'd be there. I certainly didn't. I don't think the Nuggets did. I'm not sure if Michael Porter even did, but how it's shaping up, the Nuggets really could have got the steal of the draft.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. is kind of your classic boomer bust prospect. I mean, the fact that he was there at 14 surprised everybody, like you said, and it's probably a gamble worth taking. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. was the top-rated prospect coming out of high school, right up there with DeAndre Ayton. He only played in 3 games at the University of Missouri because he underwent back surgery really early in the year, but if everything breaks right, I mean, the Nuggets could have just got a 6'10" scoring machine.
Right. Like you mentioned, the second-rated recruit coming out of high school. And, he was supposed to be a big factor at Missouri, but of course hurt his back, had surgery, and that's why he slipped. Make no mistake about it. This was a risky pick for the Nuggets, but at 14th overall, this was a risk they really felt like they needed to take, and I can't blame them for that. You really get the feeling, though, and Tim Connolly, the Nuggets president of basketball ops, said this after the draft ended, the fact that Denver already has an established core in Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, and Nikola Jokic, they could take somewhat of a risk in Michael Porter. They don't need him to be a savior, as Connolly said.
Yeah, I think, them having that foundation in place already is the biggest reason why they felt comfortable taking such a big swing. The Nuggets also are going to need help on the wing, especially with Wilson Chandler deciding on his 1-year player option and Will Barton about to enter unrestricted free agency. So Porter Jr., I mean, he can kind of ease into it and eventually plug that hole on the wing.
We don't know if Porter Jr. is going to play at Summer League. Tim Connolly wouldn't really divulge those details right now, but his status there and going forward still to be determined. But the one thing you could take away from Tim Connolly's comments tonight is the Nuggets are definitely going to take the long view with Porter Jr. They're not going to risk anything. They don't need a ton of production from him early, and that kind of goes back to the original point of, they already have a quality team in place. They're not taking Porter Jr. This isn't a lottery team. Well, they were in the lottery, but this isn't a team who was picking in the top 5 who needs him to come in and make a big impact. So they have high expectations for him for sure, but they're going to take this approach pretty slow, it seems.
Yeah, in the second round, the Nuggets decided to go with another guy who's a pretty upside play, Jared Vanderbilt out of Kentucky. He only played in 14 games while he was there. He didn't play hardly at all, but he's kind of a rebounding machine, 6'9", really athletic forward. I thought that was a pretty interesting pick, too.
Well, it's another former McDonald's All-American who had some injuries at Kentucky, who's still got a ton of upside, a great rebounder. His rebounding numbers are off the chart. So the Nuggets, you definitely feel like they like that pick in the second round as well. And, of course, they wrap up with Thomas Welsh, the 7-footer out of UCLA. But the story tonight, I think we can all agree, Michael Porter Jr., possibly the steal of the draft. Nuggets fans seem excited. This front office, this organization seems excited. Offensively, it seems like he could fit right on the wing. He could be this team's small forward of the future. So a big night for the Nuggets, and I think that's all we've got from Pepsi Center tonight. The Nuggets take 3 draft picks, Michael Porter Jr., of course, Jared Vanderbilt, and then Thomas Welsh in the second round. For Christian Clark, I'm Harrison Wind, BSN Denver.